Hello everybody and welcome back to Murder on the Orient Express. We are on the Orient Express now. If you missed the first video, go check it out. We helped recover a lost train ticket. We helped sort some storage solutions out in the fridge. But now we finally made it on board the train, and now we're heading towards the restaurant car to meet up with Book, which I think is this way.
Excuse me, monsieur. Pierre asked me to inform you that a passenger left us, so his room is yours. Monsieur Book instructed that your things be transferred to room 202 during dinner. You will be more comfortable in first class.
It is true what you say. Thank you,
Mr. Fouché, monsieur.
Nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Fouché. Just going to, as much as I like that music, I'm just going to turn it down a little bit, just in case that's kind of copyrighted. Because as nice as it is, I don't want to end up having to mute part of the video. What do we have him? Looks good.
Please, my friend, join me. I have taken the liberty of ordering you your lobster.
thank you. It appears our fellow passengers are all gathered here again tonight.
Ah. If I had but the pen of a Balzac, I would depict the scene.
Oh, it is an idea, that.
Ah, you agree. It has not been done, I think. And yet, it lends itself to romance, my friend. All around us are people of all classes, of all nationalities, of all ages. For 3 days, these people, these strangers to one another, are brought together. They sleep and eat under one roof. They cannot get away from each other. At the end of the journey, they part. They go their several ways, never perhaps to see each other again.
Certainly it interests us, inviting us to watch and wonder about their lives.
Ah, I know you, my friend. Even now, your mind, it is at work. Let us test it. For example, what do you make of those two?
Those two? Or those? Who are you looking at? Those?
Mamma mia, you can feel the power of engine. We climb into the mountains with ease. I know something about the power, and this baby has it in spades.
There's something special about a train. I'll give you that. I sell toys, and model trains are one of our biggest items. And not just for children either.
You sell model cars too?
Sure, but give me a train any day.
Oh, my friend. What do you have against the cars? Now I work at Fortuna in Italy as a spokesperson. We are producing the next generation of electric cars, the Fortuna Firenze. Like the city, it is beautiful. We got the competitors looking over their shoulders so much, they're going to hit something.
Didn't mean to be insulting. It's just that there's something magical about a train.
Analyze the character. So he is Italian. He's a spokesperson and... How is he? He looks too young to be 59, but too old to be 35? Oh, I don't know. Let's go 59.
No,
He's only
not
35.
good.
He looks an old 35.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
The loud gentleman is very confident, a master of his own fate. It is as much in the inflection as it is in the words. He believes in winning, also that he is the one who will win.
You are a magician.
Oh, it is not a parlor trick, my friend. It is simply observation.
See what else we can learn.
I was visiting my daughter. She works at the American Embassy in Istanbul. I told her she'd never find a husband there. Since I wanted to see Paris on my way home, she told me I should take this high-class train. I can't wait to see Paris. It looks beautiful in the movies, but it couldn't be more beautiful than Schenectady in the good old US of A. That's where I'm living now. And you, Miss Debenham, was it? Where do you hail from?
I was born in the UK.
Oh, that's in England, isn't it? What do you do for a living?
I teach English to children in other countries.
I see. Oh, I wish I spoke a foreign language. My daughter speaks several languages. Let me tell you about her work. It's very important.
I do appreciate the American not knowing what England and the UK are. Okay, so she is British. She's an English teacher, and surely she must have said somewhere. I got distracted by the American woman's speech. She can't be 23. Is she? No, she can't be. She doesn't look 40 though.
My little grey cells
She
did
must
not
be.
let me down.
There is much you can learn about someone just by observing them and listening. For example, that lady is reserved. She reveals little. She is self-contained. Some secret prompts her to allow her dinner companion to carry the conversation. I confess, in this case, what I witnessed in Istanbul suggests more, but I will respect her privacy.
You will always amaze me. My friend, this is one of the best desserts I have ever eaten.
You have always had the sweet tooth.
But it is a masterpiece. I can't understand how the dessert can be so good. I would love to know what the recipe is.
Alright, let's break it down, shall we? Recipe for Ms. Nielsen. Mind map.
I couldn't tell what flavor the ice cream is.
Lemon, probably? It's got specks of yellow in it.
It looks like lemon. Look at the zest.
Yes, I wasn't sure what that was.
How can Book not know what that is? Is he blind? We've got some, what, like raspberries?
What is the red fruit?
It looks like a raspberry.
You have a good eye, Poirot.
I think Book might be blind. and his taste buds aren't as refined as you would hope.
The biscuit is the foundation of the dessert. All else is built upon it. What do you think?
I have no idea. Crushed biscuit? I have no idea what that is.
It looks like crushed biscuits, my friend.
Finely observed, indeed. Poirot, I am embarrassed to ask you a great favor.
My
Dessert
friend,
connoisseur.
I am on
Nice.
this train due to the great favor you have done me. How may I assist you?
This dessert is sublime. If only I had the recipe. Unfortunately, the pastry chef, Miss Nielsen, she will guard her secrets. But you, my friend, I am sure you could make her confess.
You wish me to persuade the pastry chef to give up her recipe?
You who are the expert at interrogation.
Book, it is a dessert.
It is the pinnacle of desserts. You, my friend, who, as you say, are on this train, I blush to remind you.
Fine, you win. Again, what wouldn't I do for you, my friend?
Oh, thank you, Poirot. Good luck.
So we're stealing this poor woman's recipe that she's probably saving so she gets a massively good job in a restaurant one day. Just so he can have the dessert more. Why don't you just ask her for more?
Good evening, mademoiselle.
Good evening, sir. How can I help you?
That was a magnificent dessert you served us tonight. I wanted to tell you personally how much both Monsieur Bouc and I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, sir.
In fact, it is so good. Monsieur Bouc insists on knowing how you made it.
Oh, sir, I'm sorry. You must know a chef never gives away their recipes. But Well, you helped with the refrigerator, and without space in it for me, there would have been no dessert. Very well. To prepare tonight's dessert, first I melt sugar to make caramel. Then I spread this caramel to make tuiles. Between two tuiles, I add a small scoop of lemon ice cream, and I put the whole thing on a strawberry crown.
Poirot, you are suspicious even now. The pastry chef gave up her prized recipe a little too easily. I sense she wasn't entirely honest with me.
Especially because she said it was on a strawberry thing. First I melt sugar to make caramel, fine. Spread the caramel into 2 layers, yeah, that's fine. Scoop of lemon ice cream, fine. That was not a strawberry crown. That was raspberries.
Thank you for sharing your recipe with me, but I doubt those are strawberries you're using.
Oops. You have a good eye, Monsieur Poirot. Very well. What fruit do you think I used?
Raspberries.
You used raspberries, not strawberries. I'm not fooled.
You're right. Mr. Book, he couldn't tell the difference. Let's move on to
He
the
can't
bottom
tell
part
anything.
of the dessert.
My favorite part of the dessert.
First, I melted some butter. I crumbled pieces of chocolate into the butter. Then I placed the mix in a circular mold. Finally, I let the whole thing cool down to let it harden.
We don't think that's right though, do we? First I melted some butter, crumbled chocolate into the butter, placed into circular mold after harden. Because we don't think that's chocolate, we think that's biscuits, right?
It's certainly not chocolate that you've crumbled.
I see you do have an excellent palate. Do you know what ingredients I used?
Crushed biscuit. How could you get crushed biscuits and chocolate confused?
A clever pastry chef might mix crushed biscuits with butter to create this delicious base.
That's it. You're getting closer to the entire recipe.
Closer? I've caught murderers with less difficulty than this.
I'll give you one last challenge. I'm sure you will be able to figure out the order I mix my ingredients in. If you can, you will have earned my recipe.
Mademoiselle, solving the murder of Roger Ackroyd was easier than this.
It's like the supervillain of desserts. Alright, here we go. The vanilla was added just before the flour. The eggs are added first or last. Find the ingredients of the custard. So we're making custard. So you would put your eggs in. Then you would add... do you mix sugar and eggs together first, or do you put your milk and your eggs together and then you add your sugar? So the vanilla is added just before the flour. The orange peel comes later than the flour. The sugar is added later than the vanilla. The eggs and the orange peel are right next to each other in the recipe. Interesting. The eggs are added first or last. The eggs and the orange peel are right next to each other in the recipe, so it's got to be orange peel now. But the orange peel comes later than the flour. So you must heat the... Wait, what? Comes later than the flour. The eggs are added first or last. But the eggs and the orange peel are right next to each other. But the orange peel comes later than the flour. So eggs have got to be last then orange peel. The sugar is added later than the vanilla. So we start with milk. Then vanilla, then flour, sugar, orange, and then eggs.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
So we have the recipe.
As As promised, my recipe is yours. Give me 5 minutes to write it down for you.
Thank you. I am in your debt.
What a long-winded way around that was. Couldn't have just given it to us.
I can take advantage of this moment to resume my little observations of the passengers.
Start here.
Did you enjoy the meal?
I'm not used to meals like this.
You do not have good restaurants in Kenya?
Actually, we do. This isn't the 1930s.
I did not mean to offend.
You didn't like the meal?
The lobster, it was undercooked, and the potatoes were too dry.
I expect, being Princess Dragomirov's assistant, you must be used to eating well.
Cooking is an art. You do not need to wear the chef's hat to be an artist.
What is your favorite dish?
Currywurst. It is a specialty of mine.
$33 then? She'll be too old at 76. She's Swiss or German? German.
That was easy.
I made a lot of progress on the expenses last night, sir. I should be done by tomorrow morning.
You're supposed to be a fast worker, Hector.
Sorry, sir. Working here is not as comfortable as in our office in Boston.
You're lucky to ride in a train like this.
American, 40, secretary.
That's the right answer.
Here you are, sir. My recipe. Please tell Mr. Book he should not expect my recipes for the other desserts.
Thank you very much, mademoiselle. I know he will sincerely appreciate the gesture, and I will make certain he gets the message.
We're not going to check it to make sure it's right. Good news, Book.
Poirot, you were gone such a long time.
It proved more challenging than I expected.
This is wonderful. Did it require the use of your little grey cells?
More the exercise of my little taste buds.
Thank you so much, my friend. Eat your dessert. You've earned it.
I'm surprised he didn't eat it while we were gone.
Good evening. My name is Ratchet. I think that I have the pleasure of speaking to Mr. Hercule Poirot, is that so?
You have been correctly informed, monsieur.
Your exploits are well known on my side of the Atlantic. In my country, we come to the point quickly. Mr. Poirot, I want you to take on a job for me. Are you interested in earning a lot of money?
My clientele, monsieur, is limited nowadays. I undertake very few cases.
Why, naturally. I understand that. But this, Mr. Poirot, means big money. Big money.
Big money. American businessman. 62.
Et voilà. What is it you wish me to do for you, Monsieur Ratchet?
Mr. Poirot, I am a rich man. A very rich man. Men in that position have enemies. I have an enemy.
Monsieur, in my experience, when a man is in a position to have, as you say, enemies, then it does not usually resolve itself into one enemy only.
Yes, I appreciate that point. Enemy or enemies, it doesn't matter. What does matter is my safety. My life has been threatened, Mr. Poirot. Now, I'm a man who can take pretty good care of himself. But as I look at it, a little insurance wouldn't hurt. And remember, big money.
I regret, monsieur, that I cannot oblige you.
What's wrong with my proposition?
If you will forgive me for being personal, I do not like your face, Mr. Ratchet. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to finish my coffee peacefully.
Well, that was very straight to the point, wasn't it? Go and sleep in your new cabin. So we've been upgraded to first class now, so we should be in 2-0 something, shouldn't we?
A nightcap, Monsieur Poirot?
A cup of coffee, Monsieur Fauché. Then I will retire to my new compartment.
I am sure you will find it to be most comfortable.
We have stopped?
Yes, sir. Belgrade Station. If you'd like to go out and get some fresh air, now is the time. The train leaves at 9:15.
No, I see that it is snowing. I will not seek out the fresh air.
Probably a wise decision. May I suggest a chocolate to accompany your coffee? It is produced by my father, the best chocolatier in Switzerland.
I would never refuse a chocolate with such high recommendation.
I know you will enjoy it, and please let me know if there is anything else you require.
Swiss bartender 28.
My little grey cells did not let me down.
Everything was perfect. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Is there anything you require, monsieur?
No, merci.
Alright, let's head to our room then.
Why, I thought you'd left us. You said you were getting off at Belgrade.
We never said that.
You misunderstood me.
But, man, your baggage, it's gone.
It has been moved into another compartment, that is all.
Oh, I see. I wish you a good night, Monsieur Poirot.
Good night.
I hope you'll sleep well and that your head will be better in the morning.
It is just the cold. I'm now making myself a cup of tea.
I hope it'll warm you up.
I hope so. Good night.
Well, good night, my dear. What a brave girl. On the other hand, that man there in the next cabin, Monsieur Ratchet, he scares the hell out of me. There's something wrong about that man. My daughter always says I'm very intuitive. When Mama gets a hunch, she's dead right. That's what my daughter says. And I've got a hunch about that man. He's next door to me, and I don't like it. I put my bags against the communicating door last night. I thought I heard him trying the handle. Well, whoever you are, I'm going right to bed to read. Good night.
Good night, madam. Whoever I am?
Monsieur Ratchet seems very upset.
I mean, to be fair, in that small instance there, the last time we saw him, you said you didn't like his face. I think he has every right to be upset. Alright, here we are. 202. Can we close the door, or is it? I think it auto closes, doesn't it? Very nice. Go to bed then. Go to sleep.
Ah, finally a real bed fit for a king, or a very tired detective.
They are some posh pajamas.
Monsieur Ratchet?
Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé.
Okay, 12:37. So all we can do is go back to bed then. I mean, we know what's happened, but alright. Let's go back to sleep. 12:37, remember that. $15.
Good night, madame.
Oh, we stopped everything okay.
The American lady?
Yes, don't worry. You'll know how Mrs. Hubbard is. Imagine to yourself the time I have had with her. She insists, but insists, that there is a man in her compartment. Just imagine it, monsieur. In a space of this size, where would he conceal himself? I argue with her. I point out that it is impossible. She insists. She woke up and there was a man there. And how, I ask, did he get out? And leave the door bolted behind him? But she will not listen to reason.
That one does not leave time to listen. The train has stopped, Mr. Michel?
We have run into a snowdrift. Heaven knows how long we shall be here. I remember once being snowed in for 7 days.
Where are we?
Between Winkowski and Brod.
Oh la la. It's time for me to go back to bed.
I wish you a good night, monsieur. Or what is left of it.
What an awful night's sleep we're having. It's constantly been woken up. Interesting.
The train is still stuck and the snow continues to fall. I should have taken an airplane. Well, I must make the best of it and join the other passengers for breakfast.
So if you saw me play the demo of this, I think this is going to be pretty much the same.
The train still hasn't left.
Everything looks the same as it did when I played the demo. So we'll run through this a little bit quicker, probably, because I know what I'm doing here. But if you haven't seen it before, I'll keep this in and show you. Keep the story going.
This delay is intolerable. I am supposed to be demonstrating the Firenze in Paris in 2 days.
Ah, your electric car. Yes, that's bad luck.
Bad luck?
My daughter said it would be the easiest way in the world. Just sit on the train until I got to Paris. And now we may be here for days, and my boat sails the day after tomorrow. How am I going to catch it now? I can't even send an email to cancel it. I'm just too mad to talk about it.
My colleagues were to meet me in Paris. They will wonder what has happened to me. I can get no word to them. What will they think? We have refugees to help.
I still think that's strange, because this has been brought right up to date. Like, when this originally came out, and it's setting in 1930, whatever it was, it made perfect sense that you could be stranded out here. In 2023, you would just have contact. You just would.
Good morning, madam. The snow is a predicament, is it not?
I am Russian. Snow is no stranger to me.
Ah, the accent. Would it be St. Petersburg?
You are very perceptive. Monsieur Poirot, is it not?
And may I take it I have the honor of addressing Princess Natalia Dragomirov?
We dispense with the old titles these days. My husband, all of my past, was taken from me by these Stalinists. When they were gone, I became director of the St. Petersburg Museum of Antiquities to restore and preserve what I can of my country's history.
Still, the delay must be vexing.
If I must be late for my appointments, then they will wait.
I know that I would certainly wait, madame. It has been my extreme pleasure to make your acquaintance, madame.
Au revoir, Monsieur Poirot.
Beautiful piano. What a luxury.
Mademoiselle, you are not concerned about the train stopping?
What can one do?
Indeed, this does not make the train move. You have great strength to remain calm at a time like this.
I know one far, far stronger than I.
And that is?
Well, that old lady, for instance. You have probably noticed her. She just has to lift her little finger and ask for something in a polite voice, and the whole train runs.
It runs also for my friend Monsieur Bouc, but that is because he is a director of the line, not because he has a masterful character.
You don't have to have a strong will when you have power. But I suspect I did not need to tell you that, Mr.
Poirot.
Mr. Poirot.
Good morning, Mr. Fauchet. You have early customers, I see.
Yes, I am stuck serving here as well at breakfast. Everyone is impatient. They keep complaining that the train is not moving. As if I could get out and push it.
It's too early for me to order a boxcar. That is the appropriate drink, I believe.
A gin, triple sec, lemon and grenadine mix. A drink for a train indeed.
But not perhaps for my breakfast. I think I will settle for an omelette.
Good luck, sir. Miss Nielsen is helping to serve in the dining car.
I still don't know what people are complaining about. Could you imagine? Oh no, you have to have an extra 3 days holiday. Oh, what a shame.
How long are we expected to be stranded here?
It won't do much good complaining to me. That fellow there with the moustache, he may know something.
Excusez-moi, sir.
Yes?
Monsieur Bouc asks for you to join him in compartment 203.
Look here, Poirot. Can you tell us anything?
I can tell you the snow, it will not move aside on its own.
Of course. But you obviously have some influence with Bouc.
I am going to see him now. I will ask him if he has any information.
I mean, what do they expect us to do? Like, just get out and push it, or dig it out?
Ah, my good friend, come in. We have need of you.
What has occurred?
A passenger lies dead in his bed, stabbed.
A passenger? Which passenger?
In there. He's an American, a man called Ratchet. It was his valet, Masterman, who was worried that Mr. Ratchet was not awake yet. Pierre Michel, the conductor, decided to break in and found the body.
I see. Well, my friend, I think it is best not to touch anything and wait for the police to arrive.
Oh, I tried to call the police, but there is no cell tower for many kilometers. We could be stuck in the snow for hours. The murderer is with us. On the train, now! The sooner we catch him, the sooner we'll be out of danger. Dr. Constantine is already examining the body.
Mon ami, this is not a missing train ticket. We must follow procedure. We must wait for the police to secure the crime scene.
Please, Poirot. I will take full responsibility.
Book, you ask. Well, if we cannot contact the outside world, then... Oh, you are going to drive me crazy. In truth, this problem intrigues me. I was reflecting not half an hour ago that many hours of boredom lay ahead whilst we are stuck here. And now, a problem lies ready to my hand.
You accept, then?
C'est entendu. You place the matter in my hands.
Mr. Poirot, I am Dr. Constantine.
Forgive me, Doctor. You are a medical examiner?
No, but I have assisted in post-mortems at Nairobi Hospital, where I am a teaching fellow.
I am familiar with your excellent institution.
I do not intend to perform a full autopsy, but a preliminary examination should be of some use.
Of course. May I have a look? Then we can compare notes.
Please. If you need any help, I won't be far away.
Et voilà. I assume the open window complicates matters.
Indeed. Conditions are not perfect.
What can you tell me about the victim?
He died from multiple stab wounds of varying angles and depth. More than one would have been fatal. I would place the time of death roughly between midnight and 2 a.m. With more time, I hope I can be more precise.
Did you touch anything in here this morning?
I checked for a pulse. There was none. Rigor mortis had commenced. The body was cool to the touch. I touched nothing else.
Did you know the victim?
Not at all. I noticed him last night at dinner, but I did not pay much attention.
I'm sorry, Doctor, but I must question you.
Of course. I must be considered under suspicion like everyone else.
May I know your movements last night?
I share compartment 101 with Mr. Book. He would not stop talking about his beloved train. I listened to him for hours talking about his Orient Express.
My friend Book will no doubt confirm this. Thank you for your help, Doctor.
Okay, let's have a look at the body.
As you see, the victim has been stabbed many times. Several alone would have been fatal.
Yes, I agree. An attack most savage.
I will, of course, prepare a complete report on my findings.
Thank you.
I'll take photos.
His watch as well, which is...
The watch is broken. The hands are stopped at 1:15 a.m. One would expect that to be the time when the attack occurred.
Safe bet. Now, I think there was something under his pillow last time I did this.
Last night, Monsieur Ratchet said he takes precautions. I see now what he meant. He knew he was in danger and wanted to be ready, yet it was no use to him. I will leave it here for the police. Did it belong to Ratchet?
Banana-flavored vape.
This phone was deliberately smashed. I'm sure I will find some interesting things inside. I wonder what could be in this photo. I wonder what could be in this photo. I wonder what...
Saw the tall picture. Thought we did that before. Apologies if I do race through this. It's kind of difficult to just sort of... when you already know what you're doing, kind of do it as if you're doing it for the first time. But yeah, if you want to see me do this for the first time, go and check the demo of the game out, which is exactly the same as this. And you will see me sort of work everything out in real time.
For Daisy. Interesting. I'm right again. That...
I'm pretty sure there was a briefcase on here when we did it before.
A box of sleeping pills.
Oh, there's the briefcase. I was going to say, because the briefcase has a clue in it.
Expensive clothing, recently laundered.
Alice was walking down the forest of 1,000 flowers. She picked 10 flowers up to make a bouquet. Suddenly the bouquet turned into a butterfly and the flowers on the ground began to multiply. There were twice as many. Yeah, so she picked 10 flowers, so that meant 990. And suddenly the bouquet turned into a butterfly. The flowers on the ground began to multiply. So you just multiply the flowers on the ground, and then you get to 1980, which is the code for the safe over here.
Not very surprising. A meeting place on the back of a postcard. Someone with the initials A.W. Ratchet had an appointment he will never keep.
For each person hurt, you will suffer the same harm. Your death is near. We never forget.
Unusual letter, this. Where can the killer have gone? This door communicates with compartment 204. The latch is open on this side. The snow is falling only lightly this morning. The murderer would have left tracks in the snow if he had jumped out the window. The chain lock is broken. Monsieur Michel told me that he broke the chain on the door to get into the room.
So I think we are ready to work some stuff out. So, select two elements that reveal the most likely way the murderer exited Mr. Ratchet's room. So, he didn't go through the window because there were footprints in the snow. The chain was broken by Mr. Michel. The connecting door to the adjacent room and the latch is where he went. We know that because that and that are connected. And there's no footprints in the snow. So we know he didn't go out the window. Which is that and that.
So, the murderer must have exited through Madame Hubbard's room.
That was easy. That's the right answer.
I think that's all we can do for now.
I shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting the crime scene.
What are we missing?
Expensive clothing, recently laundered.
Still got a solid...
Not exactly the reading material one would expect of a man like Ratchet.
Maybe it's just because we'd not clicked it off. Still something on his body as well.
As you see, the victim
Maybe
several...
Yes,
I will, of course, prepare...
Thank you.
Here we go. The handkerchief.
A handkerchief. There's a letter H embroidered on it.
Alright, so I think we've analysed everything now, surely. Yes. Right, so the select two elements help uncover what happened the night of the murder. So we know he's taken, or was given, some sleeping pills in the glass. He had a threatening note, which meant that he was sleeping with a gun under his pillow. Ratchet was on guard. Ratchet's watch was found stuck. Let's go read those two. Ratchet wanted to stay on guard, yet he took sleeping pills, which makes no sense.
I can't imagine Ratchet taking a sleeping pill if he feared for his life.
My little gray cells did not let me down. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
I think we're ready to question people now.
I think I've seen everything I need at the moment. I'm counting on you to finish your analysis.
I'll have a more detailed report for you as soon as I can.
So, Poirot, did you find anything out?
It's a bit early for the handcuffs, my friend. Even for Hercule Poirot. Do not worry, mon ami. I believe our culprit has no plans to strike again. Monsieur Ratchet was the target. Of that I am convinced. Tell me, Book, how did you spend last night?
This is a joke, I hope. Don't you trust your old friend?
My friend, calm yourself. I must hear your story in order to corroborate other accounts.
Ah, naturally. Let me see. I went to my compartment after dinner. Dr. Constantine was already there. We talked about his career. He's a Cambridge man, you know. After university, he returned to his country and has done much good there. He was so interested in the Orient Express. I told him all the anecdotes I know. I'm not certain when we fell asleep, but it was very late.
Here is what I have found out. Monsieur Ratchet was stabbed many times. I also found threatening letters in his safe. He had a loaded gun under his pillow, so he was on guard, ready to defend himself. However, there was an empty glass with white residue at the bottom. I suspect a barbiturate. Perhaps he was forced to take it. In any case, I am certain he was unconscious, unable to defend himself. I also found several other items at the crime scene, possibly related to the murder. They must be investigated.
By all means, Poirot. As fast as you can.
I also found liquid for an electronic cigarette, but I could not find a vape. This might belong to the murderer.
This criminal is an amateur.
I need a list of the passengers with their compartment numbers.
Pierre Michel will have it.
I must interview the rest of the passengers and the staff.
I'll be in the bar car if you need me. We are hours late. Soon I hope help will arrive.
Okay, so the list of passengers is with Michelle, and then I think that is as far as we got in the demo. So we'll just do this.
Monsieur Michel,
then...
I must ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
I will do everything I can to help.
First of all, tell me about yourself.
Very well. My name, as you know, is Pierre Michel. I am from Calais. I've been with the company for over 15 years.
Thank you.
Okay, so we know he is the controller. We know he's 57, and we know he's French.
That was easy.
Can you provide me with a listing of the passengers and their rooms, please?
Yes, certainly.
Okay, that's a list of the passengers. Which now makes sense, because the in the demo, I remember thinking, well, where was our name on this? And now it makes sense, because we had to share a room. We've just been snuck on, really. So at least now we have all of the passengers' names.
Are you a smoker?
Indeed.
Do you smoke e-cigarettes?
No, tobacco only.
I would like to reconstruct with your help the events of last night. Monsieur Ratchet retired to bed. When?
Almost immediately after dinner, sir. Actually, before we left Belgrade.
Did anybody go into his compartment after that?
His valet, monsieur. Monsieur Masterman. And then his secretary, the young American gentleman. Monsieur McQueen.
And that is the last time you saw or heard of him?
No, monsieur. You forget that Monsieur Ratchet rang his bell around 12:40 a.m., soon after we had stopped. I knocked at the door, but he called out in French, "Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé." I then left to answer another bell that had just rung.
Where were you at 1:15 a.m.?
I was sitting on my little seat at the end of the car, facing up the corridor.
Are you sure?
I left a little after 1 a.m. to speak about the snow with my colleague Jean in the bar car. I came back later. There was a call. I remember speaking to you.
Indeed, I remember. Carry on.
It was the American lady, Madame Hubbard. She thought she saw a man in her compartment. Then, around 1:50 a.m., I made the bed for Monsieur Ratchet's secretary, Monsieur McQueen. He had spent the evening talking with the English Captain Arbuthnot. At 2 a.m., I returned to my place and stayed there until dawn.
What is the last station where we stopped?
Vinkovsky.
Could someone have come on board?
Possibly. I was very busy. Owing to the weather, we were a few minutes late. We left at 12:10 a.m.
Okay, we'll just do this mind map, and then I think we'll finish this video, because this is where we got to at the end of the demo. So everything in future episodes is completely, a bit like the first one, untouched story. So, reconstruct the activity of Mr. Michel. So, Mr. Michel takes a smoke on the platform. Then he returns to the train. Then the train got stuck by the snowdrift. He leaves the bar car because that's when they talk about it. Then Mr. Hubbard called, or Mrs. Hubbard called him. Then we have our chat with him, and then he says his postal morning.
Et voilà.
Good. So we know everything we need to know. So that will do this episode of Murder on the Orient Express. Be sure to check out the next episode, which will be coming soon. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a like. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you for another video very soon.